Hello everyone. Welcome to Oruga Horigode with Onyohangadani. I would like to say to all Orugo in the whole world, Happy Valentine's Day. Today, I'm teaching a very important topic in Orugo culture. It is called Are Utagang Hoge. This literally translated into people in our family. Now, if we elide it or omit HU here and replace it with A, become Atahang. And this one as well will change it to Arulo, because that's the plural for Are are the people, and then Arulo is a person. So become Arulo Atahang Hoge, means a person in our family. So this is a very important topic for us today, to learn, because it is important in our conversation, in Orugo language. So Ahang here is a home. It can be a family, it is a relationship, it is a homestead, and also it is a place where we live. Now, within Ahang, which is a family, we have got a nuclear family, Orugo nuclear family. The nuclear family in Orugo here will have Monye, which is the father, and also he is the husband. So we call it Habi. And also we have got Honye, which is the mother, but also she is a wife, and we call in Orugo language Ngoroi. Now this nuclear family ideally should have children. So if they have one child, we call Ero, and then if they have many children, we call Aduri. So Ero is a child and Aduri are children. Now, the singular of one child in that family, if it is a boy, they call it Onyi. So the plural is Onyiro, so which is son or sons. If we have a girl, they call Ngari. When we have many girls within that nuclear family, we call it Ngariok, which is daughter or daughters. So this is a Orugo nuclear family with children. But also, I would like to say that there are Orugo families, very rarely, we have got childless families. So these families, these people, which is the husband and the wife here can't conceive, they can't have children. So they have got a problem of infertility. So infertility is a medical problem which needs to be investigated, particularly during childbearing period. However, in Orugo culture, when these two people don't have children, mostly the woman is actually blamed for the misfortune. It is unfair, This is an issue we need to address, and we need to tell our people that, a husband as well can have a problem of infertility, okay, likewise as the woman. So this is a problem which needs investigation. So infertility or barrenness in Orugo language, we call it negolovi. So egolovi is barren or infertile. Now, within this nuclear family, we can also have Ero Eramanyani. So Ero Eramanyani is adoptive son or daughter. Now, adoptive son or daughter, Orugo actually don't have the proper way of adopting children, from other families. However, they can have a child from within the family, within the relatives or within the blood relatives, and then they can actually bring that child up, within that family. So this nuclear family with children, they can even have another child, which is Ero Eramanyani, which is adoptive son or daughter. The other thing also I would like to mention again, those people, this individual who didn't have children, because they have got this, one of them have this issue of infertility, they can have a child also from from the close relative, and then they can actually bring that child up. So that child is still called an adoptive son or a daughter, okay? Now, ahang here can mean a lot of things. Can mean a lot of things, or it can mean a next of kin, it can mean a spouse, it can mean a husband, it can mean a wife, it can mean also an inheritor, okay, or a heir. Now, within this nuclear family also, they can have a child, which we call in Oruga agogi. The plural is agogio. Agogi is actually a child whose father or mother actually passed away. So this nuclear family in Oruga can also bring this child up. So this is an orphan or fatherless, which is agogi. Sometimes we call in Oruga ologidak, and if it is a girl, we call egidak. So these words here, we have got Oruga people's names which actually are derived from this. So if it is a boy, we call ogidak, which is just starting from this O here, ogidak. And then if it is a girl, we call egidak. This one will change to I, will be egidak. So meaning that, she's an orphan. But this orphan here can be actually brought up by this Oruga nuclear family. Now, if it is one parent, okay, we call it Esioni. Esioni means, from, giving birth. So this is Esioni. If it is plural, we call it Esiok. Now, I'm going to turn the whiteboard on the other side so that then I can continue discussing on this nuclear family. So here we have a monogamous relationship. So a relationship here is also ahang as well. So mono means one. So usually in a monogamous relationship, there must be a husband, which is habi, and also this husband here, he's a man. We call it an orugo ale. Also in this monogamous relationship, we have got ngoroi, which is the wife, but we can also call this wife here, she's a woman. So we call in Orugo angote. Just hold on a second. Now, I put an asterisk here. I just want to mention that the relationship in Oruga become more complicated. Why? Because if this man or the husband here dies, we have got someone from the close relative, from the blood relatives, or from extended relatives, which I will actually discuss in the second part, which is extended family. We have what is called ajunguni. So ajunguni here is heir or inheritor. Okay. Sometimes we call in Orugo arorani. Arora means, to take over or to replace. Okay, so when this man here dies, so we have got someone from the close relatives who will take over, who will inherit, the woman in this monogamous relationship. Here, this woman probably had children with this man here. So they still, they're a nuclear family, okay? However, later on, someone else will come, within the family, to take over, the place of the person who passed away. So this is called ajungoni or arorani, okay? It is the heir or inheritor. Now, sometimes this individual here, because this man is already died, this individual here will call stepfather, okay, in our situation, okay. In Orugo language, it is called Monye Ahoyani. So this is a terminology I want you to learn, Monye Ahoyani. Monye Ahoyani. So, okay, he is the stepfather to this family here, to the children, okay, to this nuclear family with children, okay. So in a polygamous relationship, this is still ahang. Poly here means many. So Orugo people can have, here in this relationship here, an Orugoni man can have 2 or more wives. They can have 2 or 3 wives. So this is a polygamous relationship. So Orugo, in Orugo culture, they practice polygamy. Now this is Habi, who is a husband, and then Ngoru is a wife. And also in this relationship here, this man here, if a relative actually passed away and that relative actually had a wife, he can also inherit, the woman within that family. You see, the reason Orugo people do this is not Orugo only who practice this kind of relationship. I think many tribes in South Sudan also practice, polygamy, and also this issue of inheriting a woman. Okay, so this woman here, whose husband has died, and then this man, inherited her, we call in Orugo Angote Ojungoro. So this is inherited wife. Okay, so within this polygamous relationship, an Orugoni man can have, the first wife, and then he can have a second wife. Also, he can have Angota Jungoni, which is inherited wife. So there are probably be about 3 wives here. Now, if this is the first wife, the second wife is called Khani. Okay, if there are many, we call them Khanigo. Okay, Aghanigo. So Aghani. So Aghani, why they call Aghani? Because Aghani here, it happens in situations where, this woman or this second wife treats the husband, in a good way, provide everything for them, cook for them, wash for them. And, this husband tend to like one of the women within this polygamous relationship. Now, what happened is, when this husband likes one woman within this relationship, the others become, jealous. Okay, so that's why they call Aghani. Okay, so Aghani, they become rivals. So what happened here? Usually, they can have scuffles, they can fight, because they are jealous of one another. So why, most of the time, this man stays in your house. He doesn't come to visit us. He doesn't come to stay with us. Was a problem, This caused problems, within this polygamous relationship. But this is how, Orugo, culture is all about. As I said previously, that this issue of Ajungo, it doesn't only exist in Orugo culture, but also it does happen to other cultures as well. Now, here I just want to explain, so that, these are the vocabularies, because these children who are born within this Orugo nuclear family, if it is a small child, a newly born child, we call in Orugo Ero Olohodo. Ero Olohodo. Odo actually means, is actually Adaran, means red, or Odo is red. But also if it is in the fruits, it means it is ripe, Odo. Odo means ripe. Okay, but this is a child, we call it Ero Olohodo. It's a newly born child. So if this family, nuclear family, has, the firstborn child, we call it Olongeo, and then this is a boy. If it is a girl, we call Engeo. So, okay, Olongeo, Engeo. Now the plural of this one, Olongewa, and then the plural of this one is Engewa. Now, if they have another child born after the firstborn child, we call it Alahalo. Alahalo. If this is a boy, if it is a girl, we call it Eralo. This is born after another. Now another child within this family, this is called Obila or Ebila. So this is a boy, Obila, and this is Ebila, is a girl. So this is a second born child. So after the first one, which is Olangeu. So we call it Obila. Okay, if it is a girl, we call it Ebila. But also we have got names which comes up, from this one, or nicknames. Oruo people will call them. They will call them Obila. So we have got a song, one of the Hobok, which I will sing in the future, because I told you, my audience last time that I'm going to sing Hobok songs. So they will say Obila Shirakata Rami. So Obila, he was actually a second born child, Obila. Okay, within that particular family. So we can have Obila as a name, we can have Ibila as a name. Ibila can be also a neuter noun, which can be given to both girls and boys. However, usually it should be actually a nickname or a name for a girl. Now then we have got the last born child within this family. We call it Elilai Rua. Elilai means just to wash. Here, Oruo people, our Oruo language is actually becoming more complicated. Elilayo means this is the last born, this is the last child who washed out, the mother's womb. Elilayo. So this is the last born child. Now this is briefly about Oruo nuclear family. And next time I will talk on an extended family, because I really don't have enough time, to be talking on those relationship, because also I have a small place to write all this. This is already massive, for most Oruo children, Oruo people to learn these vocabularies. So if you learn these vocabularies, it will help you to communicate, well, within, the Oruo people. So I end for now. I see you soon. Thank you.